So now you were going to these modeling classes and you started to tell your teacher that I want to try to compete. And you did compete in Miss Teen USA, right? Or Miss Teen Hawaii
I
first?
did.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was Miss Hawaii Teen USA.
Got it. So let's talk about that experience. So how did it transform from first mentioning it to your teacher? And what is the experience really like as you're competing or preparing for all of these competitions and pageants?
When you first get into it, it's very confusing. So I actually did one pageant before I won Miss Hawaii Teen USA. And I mean, I just had never seen a pageant. I didn't know anything. I had watched Miss Congeniality with Sandra Bullock, and that was all I knew. I thought, oh, it's exactly like this. That's actually most people's experience with pageantry, but it's not the most accurate. So I competed in the Miss Teen Hawaii United States pageant, and they all sound so similar. It really is very confusing. And I was second runner up. I had no idea what was going on. These girls showed up, they had fake eyelashes, and I was like, what are fake eyelashes? Do I need those? I don't understand. So lost. So then a few months later, my parents found the Miss Hawaii Teen USA pageant. And they were like, oh, this is connected to Miss USA. That's a bigger system. I think this is something that's cool. And I still just didn't know much about pageantry. So I was actually very reluctant when they brought it up because I thought, like, I don't know. I was okay, but I wasn't that good. So I don't want to do it again. And they encouraged me and I signed up. And I remember we signed up and the next day there was already an event.
Oh,
So the way they do the pageant here in Hawaii, it's really like a 3-month competition because they start very early with photos and rehearsals and all this stuff. So we signed up, they emailed us immediately and said, great, you need to be here tomorrow at 9 a.m. And it just was a whole experience. But I was very fortunate because the directors at that time, they have since switched, but the directors did a lot of lessons with the girls. So I really did learn so much through the process, just leading up to the competition.
got it. Why don't you give a little bit background to, we were talking about this before we started recording, but what are all of the different main pageants that we see, I guess, on TV, right? The mainstream ones. What are the different pageants and how do they differ from each other?
Yes, so try to keep up. It gets confusing, but Miss America is the oldest pageant system, and it originally actually started as a bikini competition, but it has since evolved tremendously. Now it's famous for being the scholarship pageant. It is the one where the girls compete in a talent, and now they actually don't do swimsuit or evening gown. They just do talent and on stage interview, and they talk about their platform, whatever it is they are doing in the community. So it's very, very different than it used to be. But the biggest difference is that's the one that will do a talent competition. And then Miss USA, which is the system I've always competed in, connects to Miss Universe. And they compete in swimsuit, evening gown, and interview. And the teens will, instead of swimsuit, they'll do activewear, just to keep it a little more teen appropriate.
Got it. And you also did mention that one had a fitness competition that you had to do in the pageant, or you had to do push-ups on stage. Which one was that?
So the Miss America one, their teen pageant, I don't think they do it anymore, but they used to. When they would compete in their activewear, the girls would come out and do push-ups on stage.
That is crazy to think that they have all of these different, I guess, different categories that you have to compete in. But I think for the general public, even for myself, I'm not too aware of what goes on in these pageants, right? But for you, being a contestant in both the Miss Teen and Miss Hawaii USA, what is kind of the big message, I guess, that, or what does these pageants bring out of each of the contestants? Like, what is the main reason for competing in your eyes?
So the tagline for Miss USA is confidently beautiful, because what the organization is trying to accomplish is building these women up so that they are confident on the inside. And the beauty is not just a physical outward appearance, it's something that radiates from inside. So to me, pageantry is all about, polishing who you are as a person, defining what you want, what you give back to the community. And then you just get up on stage and showcase that and share it with the world. But it really is such a subjective experience because it's a panel of judges who have all these incredibly accomplished women in front of them, and then they just pick one. It's not like running a race where somebody's the fastest and that's just it. It's very subjective. So I always tell people, contestants specifically, you know, when you're competing, yeah, everybody wants to win, but really you just have to pick one thing for yourself that is in your control that you can win, whether it's more confidence, you know, you want to feel a certain way when you do your private interview, whatever it is, because you just have no control over the outcome. You have no idea what's going to happen. But I think there's so much to be gained from the process leading up to the pageant that you have to focus on and make sure that you are achieving whatever it is you want to achieve in that 3-month period or more.
That's great to hear from you. I think, you know, for anybody going through this type of experience will definitely help you grow, help to bring out the best in you, because you're trying to showcase your best effort, right, throughout these competitions.